Football fans, buckle up. Today's transfer market is a whirlwind of blockbuster bids, shocking snubs, and deals that could reshape the game. Hello, guys. Arsenal are exploring a move for Vinicius Jr, and Real Madrid are meeting with the player on Monday. Rodri is the most wanted midfielder on the planet, with Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG all circling. But Manchester City do not want to sell. Real Madrid are closing in on Yan Diomande from RB Leipzig, and the player has only opened the door to one club. Spain's World Cup winning coach condemns Argentina's conduct after the final, and Zinedine Zidane is set to be unveiled as France's new national team manager next Tuesday. If you're enjoying this kind of breakdown, drop a like. It genuinely helps us keep this format going. It's time to dive into the latest football news. Real Madrid sent representatives to Germany this week to push a deal for RB Leipzig's Yan Diomande. A 5-year contract has been offered and the player is open to the move. Manchester City and Arsenal have both gone quiet, with Diomande opening doors only to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have reportedly reached an agreement with Rodri, while Barcelona and PSG have also entered the race. However, Manchester City are digging in. They do not want to sell and are willing to keep him until his contract expires in 2027. Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr are set to meet on Monday to discuss a contract renewal. His current deal runs until 2027, and the two sides remain apart on financial terms. Arsenal are monitoring the situation closely. Lois Openda is set to join Olympique Lyon on loan from Juventus. A verbal agreement is in place, with Lyon covering the salary and paying around $3.2 million in loan fees. There is no buy clause, and a medical is scheduled for next week. France will officially present Zinedine Zidane as the new national team manager next Tuesday. Zidane returns to the dugout following Didier Deschamps' tenure with Les Bleus. Juan Román Riquelme has praised Lionel Messi following Argentina's run to the 2026 World Cup final, going as far as suggesting the captain may have surpassed Diego Maradona as the greatest Argentine ever. Harry Kane scored 73 goals and added 8 assists across 65 games for Bayern Munich and England, combined in the 2025-26 season. According to the Touchline, it is the best season for a forward since Lionel Messi's 2011-12 campaign. Atletico de Madrid have officially signed attacking midfielder Kang-in Lee from PSG for a reported $43 million. The 25-year-old's arrival was announced with a spectacular display on South Korea's largest screen in Seoul. Arsenal are planning a phased return for their World Cup players. Decisions remain pending on the fitness of Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka, with the club carefully managing their workloads ahead of the new season. Maxence Lacroix was the only player in the 2025-26 Premier League season to record 50 or more tackles, 200 or more duels won, and 250 or more clearances. A move to Chelsea is reportedly on the cards. According to reports, Real Madrid consider 5 players completely off the table this summer: Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde, Arda Güler, and Bernardo Silva. After Brazil faced Norway at the World Cup, Vinicius Jr had words of admiration for Martin Ødegaard. According to Vinny, Norway controlled the game as Ødegaard always does, and Brazil couldn't find the right moment to press and win the ball back. Portugal reportedly stand to lose $30 million in sponsorships if Cristiano Ronaldo decides to retire from international football. The commercial impact of his potential exit from the national team is enormous. Jurgen Klopp has issued an open call to all eligible German players, describing the national team setup as a full restart. He says players who don't expect it yet will get their chance. Barcelona are in pot 1 for the upcoming UEFA Champions League phase draw. They will face 2 teams from a group that includes PSG, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, or Inter Milan. The draw takes place on Thursday, August 27th. Barcelona have confirmed that Frenkie De Jong has suffered a serious knee injury and will be sidelined for approximately 6 months. The Dutchman had returned to the club for specific rehabilitation work, but the timeline is a significant blow. Xavi Simons has spoken out about his departure from Barcelona, saying stories came out that hurt him and that the club did not believe in him. Arsenal are exploring a move to sign Vinicius Jr from Real Madrid, according to David Ornstein. The interest is at an early stage and the two clubs have not yet entered formal talks, but the idea has been approved at all levels within Arsenal. The Gunners view signing a world-class superstar as a now-or-never opportunity to compete for the Champions League. Vinicius, who is 26, has a contract with Real Madrid running until 2027. Renewal talks have stalled over financial differences, with neither side currently willing to move from their positions. Real Madrid and the player are set to meet on Monday to try to find a breakthrough, but as of now, there is no deal. Crucially, Real Madrid do not want Vinícius to leave on a free transfer, meaning any exit this summer would require a significant fee. According to Mundo Deportivo, Arsenal are actively studying the signing. Ornstein reports the idea is approved internally at Arsenal, though it is not necessarily their number one option. Liverpool were also approached about Vinícius but decided not to engage, with the club instead focusing on strengthening the right wing. The situation now hinges almost entirely on what happens at Monday's meeting between Vinícius and Real Madrid. If the two sides find common ground on a renewal, Arsenal's pursuit ends before it truly begins. If talks collapse again, the race for one of the world's best players could ignite very quickly, and Arsenal appear ready to move. Real Madrid have made Yan Diomande their primary defensive target this summer, and they are moving quickly. Representatives traveled to Germany this week to present the RB Leipzig midfielder with a 5-year contract proposal. According to Fabrizio Romano, the player is open to the move and has only opened doors to Real Madrid, shutting out both Manchester City and Arsenal, who had made initial inquiries but have since gone quiet. The background to this story is significant. Diomande had actually agreed personal terms with Paris Saint-Germain back in June, but PSG have so far been unable to reach a fee agreement with RB Leipzig. That opened the door for Real Madrid, who moved decisively. Real Madrid are now in direct club-to-club talks with Leipzig over a transfer fee, reported by some sources to be in the region of $130 million. Real Madrid are reportedly confident of completing the deal and plan to present Diomande as early as next week. The Ivory Coast international is seen as a key piece in the squad rebuild, with the club also pursuing Rodri. An opinion piece in Mundo Deportivo notes that if both Diomande and Rodri arrive, a heavyweight departure from the current squad becomes likely. For Real Madrid, landing Diomande would represent a major statement of intent. He is one of the most sought-after young defensive midfielders in Europe, and the fact that he has personally chosen Real Madrid over PSG speaks volumes about the pull the club still carries. The transfer story dominating European football right now is Rodri. According to Fabrice Hawkins, Real Madrid have reached an agreement with the player himself. Barcelona have also contacted Rodri's entourage, accelerated by the confirmation of Frenkie De Jong's long-term knee injury, and PSG have contacted Manchester City to ask about transfer conditions. 3 of the biggest clubs in the world want the same man. But there is one enormous obstacle. Manchester City do not want to sell. Multiple sources confirm that City are prepared to keep Rodri until his contract expires in 2027 rather than cash in this summer. The club's position is firm. Rodri is their most important midfielder, and they have no intention of weakening themselves for any fee. The timing of Barcelona's interest is notable. With De Jong now confirmed as out for 6 months, the Catalans have a genuine and urgent need in midfield. Their move for Rodri is not opportunistic, it is a necessity. Real Madrid, meanwhile, are pursuing both Rodri and Diomande simultaneously, which would represent an extraordinary midfield overhaul. For now, the ball is firmly in Manchester City's court, unless City change their stance or Rodri forces the issue. This saga may run all the way to the final days of the transfer window. With Barcelona, Real Madrid, and PSG all in the picture, this is the transfer story that will define the summer. Juan Román Riquelme, one of the greatest Argentine players of his generation, has made a remarkable statement following Argentina's run to the 2026 World Cup final. Speaking after the tournament, Riquelme hailed Lionel Messi and suggested the captain may have now surpassed Diego Maradona, a claim that would have been considered almost heretical in Argentina just a few years ago. The context matters enormously. Argentina reached the World Cup final, with Messi leading the charge once again on the biggest stage. Riquelme, who has always been careful and respectful in how he discusses Maradona, chose this moment, after a World Cup final appearance, to raise the possibility publicly. The debate between Messi and Maradona is the oldest and most passionate argument in Argentine football. Maradona's 1986 World Cup triumph and the almost mythological status he holds in the country has long made direct comparisons feel almost impossible. But Messi's sustained excellence across multiple World Cups, combined with his 2022 triumph, and now another final appearance in 2026, has shifted the conversation. For a figure as respected as Riquelme, to make this statement publicly adds genuine weight to the argument. Whether or not you agree, one thing is clear. The debate is no longer one-sided. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting football news. Stay tuned for our next video. Until then, take care and see you soon.